So when we're talking about dealing with people on any level and we're in states of disagreement, the one thing that I learned very recently is my levels of growth through patience, observation, listening, and then turning what I've heard, processing that into something that I can communicate effectively. And so, where I'm going with this is you really want to, at times, be Perseus when dealing with Medusas. Now, don't get me wrong, I've been Medusa many times. And when I say Medusa, I mean not willing to be heard when my words and my opinion and my imposed will upon things would turn other people to stone. Sometimes it still might. We're all works in progress. But in this instance, I got to be Perseus and I had my shield and I could show somebody what was going on that they didn't even see. And a lot of times we don't see within ourselves what we're projecting because it's going away from us. So we never get a chance to see it. We don't get to really hear our own tone. We know what we mean to say. We know that we want a little sting on it and things like that, but we don't necessarily hear it the way the person that we're sending it towards. We don't see the way that our face may twist or, things like that. We don't see a lot of the things that we're sending out. So sometimes you have to hold up that shield like Perseus and show a Medusa exactly what it is they're doing and watch them turn to stone like did I freeze long enough? But that's kind of the whole thing is you want to be able to show people the logic that you're not being a Medusa in the sense that you're acting out of emotion, which in her case, I'm guessing that would be a lot of fear and things like that, where people were afraid to look. They didn't want to see what this person had to say. It's not fearing their truth. It's just fearing what was to come with it. So sometimes you have to hold that up and show a Medusa themselves in order for them to sometimes get the point. And that's what I was able to do in a conversation recently where I was kind of accused of some things, and that's okay. Because again, people are allowed to have their feelings and their interpretation. But what I always go back to is once you are in front of me, ask the source rather than continue to try to tell me what I was doing. If you're still looking just to tell me, then we have nothing more to really go upon because now you have the source to get real facts from. No, this is not what I was doing. That's not what I meant. So then you can clear up a lot of things. And then the shield and the reflection is that of accountability. And what it does is it allows you to come with the the idea that you are going to talk rationally, talk calmly, and again, after you've listened effectively, to communicate effectively. So by saying, I'm going to take in everything that you've given me, but I'm going to reflect it back to you. And this way, this person can get to see exactly what it is that, it is you're trying to get across to them. So you really have to, kind of test your patience. You have to think in a logical space because if you try to match fire with fire, then what you have is just a firefight. You have a lot of emotions flying around. So you really have to break things down, be able to give it a logical explanation, even if you don't think that it warrants one. Sometimes it can calm a lot of things down. So we have that ability when we are in the right state of mind, being more of a Perseus rather than a Medusa. And in this instance, I was able to make a lot of points. I was able to show a Medusa exactly where their behavior kind of went wrong and how the place that we had gotten to was really a result of some Medusa like actions. And once that was seen, then an apology was known and the accountability was accepted on the part of that person, which on both ends is tremendous growth because I've said it before in other videos. Some of the hardest things to do are to apologize for one person and to accept an apology for another person. So a lot of times it just takes steps, but we have to realize what steps it is that we're taking in order to get to better places and higher ground. Guys, what do you think about this? When you are talking about this, have you dealt with Medusa before, or have you been a Medusa and like you had that moment of clarity where somebody showed you something about yourself? I've definitely seen and heard a few instances of that. And quickly, I will share. It was a young man who is not close with his father, and he finally just told his father as a young teen, "You're not it. You're not it." And he broke down and had but he had to show this man that you're not what you think that you are, and this is showing you know somebody themselves. And so sometimes you can be that Medusa yourself. And so it was a hit to the father because he thought he was something completely different in his son's eyes. It's crazy that way, but it's true. And sometimes it's exactly what we need to get to a better place where we can start to make the change in our mind, then make them change in our thoughts, make the change in our actions, make the change in our habits, and that will become a change in our character and the quality of life. So again, hopefully somebody can share an ace up the sleeve advice, comment, experience. And again, I hope something like this is where we can find ourselves in a place, pursuit, or again, getting into that mind shift of pursuing total health, mind, body, and soul. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. Peace, love, unity, solidarity.